Blog Talk Radio.
Party crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed. Pajama party. Grown and sexy. Join the party. Pajama party. Party crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed.
All right, welcome to a Friday night edition of the Pajama Party. We're back. All right, and welcome.
Hey.
I'm one of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling. Bonsoir.
What's going on?
Hey, how you doing tonight? Happy Friday.
Same to you.
Well, thank you. Merci beaucoup.
Très trivion au revoir.
Okay. Well, whatever that means.
And whatever.
I'll toast to that.
We usually have Ketel on the show, but she's stuck in traffic, but she'll be here soon, I'm sure.
All righty.
So we'll catch up with her when she pops in.
Ooh, what a week it's been.
Yeah. Looks like the wintertime finally hit the ground and running.
Yeah, at least on the East Coast. It's been colder than two mofos.
Yeah, I've been messing around, not really dressing warm like I should. Not warm. I had on my little long handles, as they call them. But as far as big winter coats, no, I never was into a big winter coat, especially when I'm driving. I just can't even drive with a damn coat on. It's just not even my wheelhouse. But I really got to start tightening up, because I was a little sick over the last few days, and now, getting back into when I go back out after the weekend, after I complete this sickness that I went through, and not non-COVID sickness, I guess we got to say nowadays.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
Oh, yeah. But I'm going to definitely start layering up for real, like I should be doing in 20-degree weather. Instead of, we think we're going from the house to the car or the house to the business or whatever. Nah, you got to get it in. Because I was out there the other day just doing something with the car, and my fingers got frostbitten. I was like, what the hell? I ain't felt this. I ain't felt no frostbite stuff
You weren't expecting
in a minute. So I got to start playing by the rules and respecting Mother Nature like I should.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Ketel, you out there, Ketel?
Hello.
What's going on?
You got the best hand. What's going on with you? Yeah. One of those days. Yep. One of those days.
Keeps in the meadows?
Yeah.
You heard you were stuck in traffic. You good?
I'm good. I'm straight now. I appreciate it.
Okay.
I'm
good.
All right. So what we leading off with tonight, Poppa DD?
I saw something on the news today. I'll talk about it later. I do want to lead off with it now. This happened in Virginia, where a lady was making a statement. You'll see it on the news, I'm sure, over the next couple of days or so. She was talking about the whole mask issue, which goes in effect it's Monday the 24th, I believe, of January, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, in Virginia, goes in effect that the mandate is going to be off. And I guess some of the, I don't know, I wouldn't say Trump followers or the people that don't believe in masks at all, she was making a statement in the school. They gave everybody like 3 minutes to talk. And she just came on with that straight right-wing anger out of nowhere. She said that, Monday I'm going to show up and my child is not going to have a mask on. If anybody give me problems, I'm going to come back with the guns and the ammunition. And this was in I think it was Loudoun County in Virginia. And just happened today. And she said, if somebody gives my child hassle by wearing a mask, She said, I'm coming back with the guns. And when she said, I'm coming back with the guns and the ammunition and people, and then the lady said, your 3 minutes is up. I'm like, your 3 minutes is up? Somebody should be taking that ass out in handcuffs. So the question tonight is, what do you think about that statement that she made, and how serious should we take it? What do you think?
Oh, I'll go first. I think that lady is off her rocker, and the FBI needs to come right to her house and confiscate all those weapons and question her, because she's crazy. Anytime you go to a school board meeting... You
heard it too, right?
Yes, I saw that report.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you go to a school board meeting, which have been off the chain
in
lately
Virginia.
Because of masks and vaccines and all, these folk in Virginia have been tripping.
Lord,
but for her to stand up there and say, I'm going to show up with my guns and I'm going to call everybody I know who has guns and we're going to be there.
I'm like, where did that at a school, in a school auditorium, where did that come from? I'm like, what the hell?
Well, the answer to my comment is FBI or local police, state police, somebody police needs to go and lock that behind up. Because when you make public threats like that, they should be taken serious.
Yeah.
That's my comment. What you think, Ketel?
And who was this woman? Is she anybody important?
A parent.
She was just a parent of a student in a school that had 3 minutes on the microphone in the auditorium about the mask mandate. It was her turn on the microphone.
And she doesn't want her kids to have to wear a mask at school.
And she said Monday when it starts, she's definitely not coming in with a mask, and he might give me trouble. I'm coming back on my guns and my ammunition. I'm going to call people that got their guns. This was on the news tonight, on the local news, and it happened in Loudoun County.
Well, I'm going to be like a Steve Harvey. I'm going to dissect it. Now, you said it was a Virginia one, right?
Right.
And 2, was the woman African-American or Caucasian?
Not at all. She was Caucasian.
Okay. That kind of speaks for itself. Those folks in Virginia, they are off the chain. A lot of them, to me, are just, they have this, what do you call it, right-wing type mentality, and they just don't care. And it's, to me, I feel like they're Donald Trump followers, believing what he thinks, that this thing is not for real. So why should you wear a mask? Because in reality, I guess in her mind, she thinks this thing is not for real, this pandemic. So I think the lady's just off a rocker. But people are going to say and do what they want to do. So we shouldn't be surprised or shocked. I mean, this is the way things are going. Our society is right now. People are off the chain because of, everybody trying to blame it on the pandemic. People are just who they are, period. So that's my take on it.
Okay.
Just a nut. That's it.
Well, my take on that situation is that we need to start taking people serious when they make terroristic threats like that. I mean, just period. Because it go to show you that sometimes when people speak unconscious like that, the worst thing you can have in the world today is a short fuse. It's not even, and I'll be the first to tell you, because there was a time where I was just a pistol, you know what I mean? When it comes to just reacting. I mean, I felt that I had good cause to react. But as I think about stuff through the years, and as I get older and I see the consequences of what comes out of your mouth, I've really learned to curb my attitude when it comes to not thinking that everything I'm saying is so on point and correct and everybody's going to go along with it. But I think ever since the inception of the Trump incubation situation now, people that had any sliver of just being ruthless, it's becoming full stream. It's becoming wide open. And the lady that made those comments tonight about, if they say something to my child, I'm coming back on my guns to the school. Well, they're killing people in schools. So how can you even make a comment about guns and in an auditorium when kids are getting killed in school.
She's crazy.
But when they confront her after the fact, or if they said the police gonna go to her home to talk to her, she's gonna go back to being, I'm just a regular white woman, and I was just speaking my freedom of speech. They're gonna throw an amendment number out there, whether it be the first, second, third, because she's gonna call somebody. They're gonna say, look, telling you is enforcing your First Amendment rights, your First Amendment right, and blah, 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 blah. It's alibis and excuses. Lawyers and alibis are so prevalent amongst people that they put their foot in their mouth, but then they'll find the perfect lawyer to just ease the foot out of their mouth. It's amazing, but that's my take on it. You're right, but she's crazy as hell.
I hope they lock her up for real.
Yeah, because she said some wild stuff. Loudoun County.
And she told them she'll be up there with her guns.
Bringing
other folks that are crazy like
and
her.
And bringing other people up there if they say anything about my child about having to wear a mask. I'm like, damn. Did she know bullets come out of a damn gun? Anyway, let's get it started. Ketel, you got the rundown?
Yes.
Want to do something with that?
Right.
I
Okay.
appreciate it.
All right, go for it. What you got?
What we got going on?
All right, buckle up, sit back. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Our hot topics tonight, major airlines say the 5G doomsday scenario is over. Yay. Also, Democrats failed to advance voting rights law. Unfortunate. And preteens, I hear you. Preteens may be vaccinated without parents' consent on the California bill. Our hidden and tweeted headlines. Intel announces $20 billion semiconductor factory in Ohio. Also, Louisiana Senate candidate smokes blunt in new campaign ad. Also, the only woman officially drafted by the NBA team dies at 66. Also, Pennsylvania police officer fired for fatal shooting of 8-year-old. And no charges in a Cedric Lawton stand your ground case. Our cocktail of the week, I got a surprise for you tonight. What's poppin' with Poppa DD? Of course, we have to lighten it up with our weird news. Missouri Highway Patrol mistakenly sends Batman theme alert. Okay. Scientists train goldfish to drive on land. And live deer found in cars, hatchback during traffic stops. Okay. Sounds like The Godfather to me. I'm just saying with Redwine, Living for the City with Poppa DD, my Hollywood wrap-up, the Kiss It list, and the last word. So sit back, relax, get your favorite cocktail, and we'll be back with the hot topic.
Hey, this is Redwine, just doing a few promos for the Pajama Party Adult Online Radio Talk Show. You know how we do it. PJs only, no clothes allowed, and I was just trying to get this done.
Hey, Redwine, are you talking about the Pajama Party, where we talk about hot topics, movie reviews, living for the city, and what's popping with me, Poppa DD?
I know you guys aren't doing this spot without me, Ketel with the yellow socks. Did you tell everybody that they can reach us at apajamaparty.com or call us live, 914-803-4306. Check us out on Twitter, and don't forget to kiss the list.
Okay, now is the time for me to sing?
No, we don't have time for all that.
Oh, she could sing. Let's get back to the show. All right, welcome back to the Pajama Party. I'm one of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling. Ooh, it's time for the hot topics, and I'm going to jump in first and talk about these major airlines and what's going on with 5G. The airline executives are saying that they're breathing a sigh of relief to their investors as of yesterday, saying that they believe the threat to their operations for the rollout of 5G technology is now behind them, at least the threat of it. Although AT&T and Verizon have agreed only to a temporary delay of 5G deployment at major airports, CEOs of American and United both said that there will be a resolution of the dispute within thousands of delayed and diverted and canceled flights. They had been previously predicting all kinds of doomsday, dire consequences earlier in the week. all over them rolling out 5G, saying it was going to cause some kind of interference with the transmissions of signals and whatnot to the planes. So the Federal Communications Commission, FCC, they auctioned off the C-band spectrum to U.S. wireless carriers last week, which was an $81 billion sale that would allow them to, these wireless carriers, to provide robust and lucrative 5G service. But then the airlines started screaming and yelling and saying, hey, if you use that 5G technology near airports, it's going to interfere with the aircraft radar altimeters, and I think I said that right, altimeters?
Beacons, as you could say.
Okay, the beacons, and instruments that tell the pilots how high their plane is off the ground. And they said that these devices are crucial for landing planes when there's low visibility, I guess like when there's fog or rain, et cetera, like that. So they were saying that, you know, they just need to make sure that this isn't going to cause them to have all these disruptions, like when they were canceling thousands of flights, you know, like during the holidays and all that kind of thing, although that was a different issue. They said they don't want 5G to, you know, create all those kind of issues. So they're basically saying that, you know, between all the stuff with COVID and all the cancellations and losing staff, et cetera, the Delta, what do you call it? The Delta variants, thank you, of the virus, that already cost Delta $80 million, and 5G has the potential to cause that type of situation all over again. So the White House is meeting with the telecom companies, trying to reach some kind of deal to roll out the technology near the airports, and they're just all trying to come to an agreement on how can we make this work for everybody, because the telecom companies want to roll out 5G, but the airports are saying this is going to create a problem. So everybody's got to get on the same page so that consumers can take advantage of whatever it is that 5G service gives to the consumers, and the airports and the airlines need to make sure that it's not going to create a problem on their end. So they feel like they've gotten to the point now where they can work it out. So we'll just have to see. I'm still not sure exactly what is 5G going to give us. Is that supposed to make transmissions go faster?
Yeah, apparently, but I think that in lieu of the situation we're talking about, you know, with me, and I'm only speaking on this because I was in the Navy and I was in the aviation world in the Navy. I was stationed at a base called Naval Air Station Oceana, which is in Virginia Beach. And every time you get near the beach, back in the day, and I'm in the Navy back in between 77 and 85, and this is when there was no, you know, big-time technology like in the cars today. But when you get near the beach, get near the base, you knew you were heading toward the base because your radio would start, you know, humming and beeping. Beep, beep, beep. The same beacon that the airplanes would hear when they came to the airport was coming out through your radio. And it's just something you just got used to as you turn down the road led to the air base. And, you know, and that's what's happening today. But the problem that's going on today is that nobody's talking to each other. Nobody's communicating with each other. You know, I know a cell phone's important, but so is an airport. And so is a plane's distress system and a beacon system that's built in. You know, every airport has a beacon by it. I don't know if you ever went down Route 50 when you go by the little training airport there where they fly these little planes on 50. You know,
I've seen that.
Heading toward when you get
it's
almost get the buoy.
Airport.
Little airport. Before you get to that airport, like if you're coming from the west going east toward Bowie, as soon as you get toward there, you can tell you're there because there's always like a little white golf ball that sits on like a water tower. Mm-hmm. Every time you buy an airport, it is a little white golf ball looking thing. It looks like a little golf ball sitting on top of a big water tower. That's where the beacon's located, and they usually sit in that round ball. Just like the big hub on the back of an SUV. That's where your sensor is for your XM radio. So whenever you see some kind of, you know, couplet on the back of a car, back of the hatchback or the back of the trunk or the back of the top, that's where your beacon is for your XM radio and all that stuff. But make a long story short, they should have been talking to the airports from the beginning because they was there first. Like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? It's the same way when you're on a ship, for example, and the ship gets to a point where it has to go underneath a bridge. They have what's called bridge tenders, and the bridge has to open up to let the boats go through the bridge. Why does the bridge have to open up? Because the water was there first. Mm-hmm. So whoever was there first takes precedence over the priority. So even trains, Amtrak trains, and they get to a bridge. Oh, we're stopping for a bridge opening, because the boat's coming by, because the water was there first. The airport was there first. So why does AT&T and all these people coming in with all this new money that we're giving them to think they can just change the way the world works? You don't need to bother the beacons that the plane's going to be listening to, especially in bad weather. So that's deep.
That makes sense.
Anyway.
Okay. Well, thank you for that insight.
Right.
Anyway.
All right. Well, you got the mic, so go ahead. What's your hot topic?
I don't know mic hog, but let's see here. Let's see. This is the Democrats failed to advance the voting rights law as the senators hold out to defend the filibuster, which is a hold or I guess that's just a big-ass anchor that sits in the water.
They need to call it bull crap.
Yeah, anyway, Senate Democrats failed again to pass sweeping new voting protections on Wednesday, in what would be the worst brutal blow yet to affect the strengthening protection for voters at a real monumental time in our democracy, just as they have done 4 other times in recent months. All 50 Republicans united in their opposition to the measure. Okay? They relied on the filibuster, a Senate rule that required 60 votes to advance legislation to the final vote. So they need 50 Republicans plus, they need at least some. They need all 50 Democrats and at least 10 Republicans. But we even got 2 holdout Democrats. What's their names, Redwine? Sinema and Manchin, who are just trying to stay on the right side of white. They're Democrats, but they're West Virginia, so they were. But we'll talk about that later. We'll get deep into that later. Anyway, despite heavy pressure from Joe Biden and fellow Democrats, 2 senators, like I said, Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema, have dug in to defend the measures preventing Democrats from getting rid of it. Now, why they're doing that? They're Democrats, but like I said, we'll talk later. I'll open your eyes up to some staying on the right side of white stuff. Anyway, in a rebuttal to Biden, Sinema gave a speech on the Senate floor last week, making it clear that she would not support changes to the filibuster because they wanted to change the filibuster and all that. But Manchin has also, got on her side and all that. But it's not about filibuster. They just want to keep their constituents. Anyway, their opposition set up a showdown at the unanimously doomed bill that took place yesterday, and like I said, the end results of it was 52-48. So, boom. And so you need 60, and they was only able to get 52. They lost 2 of their own, and so here we are. So just to recap things on that. In order they're trying to make sure the voting laws will block any other voting laws that states will try to come up with to do anything. And this is all based on people trying to stack the deck for things to come. For one, the midterm elections, which is coming up in November, where some senators and congressmen's jobs are coming up, and they want to make sure people have a hard time. But the sad part
some
about
of them are retiring too, so there's going to be openings.
Yeah, but they want to make sure all of it comes in. But there again, how are you going to make sure anything when all you're doing? But see, and we'll move on. But let me just make this one statement. The reason why this voting thing is so strong is, remember this here, okay? In order to get voted into office, all you need to be is elected, okay? You don't have to interview. You don't have to wear a nice suit. You ain't got to show up in a building. You don't need to get anybody a resume. You just need to get elected. And these white folks know that that's all it takes. That's why you got a bunch of ignorant, crazy-ass people like your girl, what's her name? Green?
Oh, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, a congressperson. How did she become a congressperson? It's unbelievable. Why? Because she was voted in. So they figure if we rig the election, we can get any donkey we want to and put a good piece of hair on him and call him a horse. So, so that's where it's at now. They just want to rig the elections and bring anybody in that they can because all they need is to be voted in, whether they got in legitimately, illegitimately. And then they're trying to set up, too, so 2024, when Trump comes back, the deck is stacked for real. And he's financing all of it. So just stay tuned.
Can I just say that for them to make it more difficult for people to vote makes no sense, even though it's going to disproportionately affect people of color. It really affects people that are in lower income brackets.
It's going.
And all of those people that are poor people are not just black folks and brown folks. So they're so busy trying to go after people of color, but they're also making it difficult for people that are white folks who live in rural areas, that live back out in the sticks somewhere, that used to have more time to be able to go and cast their ballot. But when they start cutting down the days to say, no, we're not giving you all that time, and we don't want to have mail-in ballots, and we want to cut back on, like, having a box where you can come and put yours and all. These people who live out in other areas who don't have Internet access and all that other stuff, the conveniences that some of us enjoy, they're making it difficult for everybody. So for people to keep harping on it's all about the black and brown, no, it's about the poor.
It's about everybody.
It's about the people that are not in the city, so to speak. They're going after the people who don't have the resources, and that's not just black folks.
But see, they don't
so
see
they're
that.
going to cut off some of the white folks who would have been voting for them.
That's something
but
they don't.
But they're so stupid, they don't even realize
they don't
that.
see that right now. They have made their decisions on different rules they're doing in these different states because they rode around and see how blacks are voting, and they want to cut down everything they're doing, taking away drop boxes.
But
and
I'm saying some of that's affecting some of their own white voters too.
But they don't see that. They're not looking
care.
at them. But, it's going to, well, let me just say this here. Belligerent arrogance and belligerence is ignorant. So usually people that do crazy stuff find out what they did on the back end. They don't see the front thing going on, but we'll see.
Down the road, they're going to look back and say, wow, we shouldn't have done that.
Oh, we fucked some shit up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
I just want to chime a little bit. I just think that they just don't know how to fight fair. They just have to cheat all the time. And look at what was it, Mitch McConnell, what he was saying earlier today about African Americans and Americans. Are we two different people? Come on now.
I put him on the kiss it list for that one. He's full of crap.
Please do. Talking about
deep.
The statistics of African American is what do you say, different than Americans? Are we on Americans?
He actually broke it down like that?
He did.
What the F is what you talking about? I mean, he probably meant something else, but he meant what he said.
No, don't.
And
that's
how
what he
wanted
said.
it.
Don't.
Right. That's how he wanted it to come out.
Don't patronize that ass.
That's sad. So, he meant what he wanted to say.
Yeah, he meant what he said, and that's how he feels. Wow.
Yeah,
I was going to say, if people talk long enough, they will eventually say what they really.
Oh yeah, and I don't patronize shit no more. I don't.
Sure.
No way. Anyway.
Look at stupid old 45. All right, our next topic.
Yeah.
If you guys got any questions or comments, please hit us up tonight and join the conversation. 914-803-4306.
And press 1.
Press 1.
Yes, please do. Yeah.
Press 1.
Join the conversation because we got some hot stuff going on here. Like this next hot topic here. This is hot off the press. Now, this is some crazy BS. Preteens may be vaccinated without parents' consent under a new California bill. So this is Sacramento. California would allow children aged 12 and up to be vaccinated without their parents' consent, the youngest age of any state, under a proposal that happened late Thursday by a state senator. Alabama allows such decisions at age 14, Oregon at 15, Rhode Island and South Carolina at 16, and so on. Only Washington, D.C. was a lower limit at age 11. So Weiner argued that California already allows those 12 and up to consent to the hepatitis B and human, the HPV vaccine and the treatment for sexually transmitted infections, substance abuse, and mental health disorders, giving young people the autonomy to receive life-saving vaccines, regardless of their parents' beliefs or work schedules, is essential for their physical and mental health. Interesting. Weiner's bill would lift the parental requirement for that age group for any vaccine that has been approved by the U.S. Food Administration. So that includes immunizations against the coronavirus. As Weiner said, vaccine hesitancy and misinformation has also deterred vaccines against measles and other contagious diseases. Okay. So what do you guys think about that? You think, it should happen?
I mean, well, I'll jump in on that one. I think on the one hand, it's not really a bad thing because you do have, not you, but I'm saying there are some parents out here that are as crazy as that lady that was in that school board conference that feel like, I don't want my kids to have this, and I don't want my kids to be vaccinated, and I don't want this, that, and the third. But these kids are like, yo, I want to be able to play basketball, and the basketball coach said, you got to be vaccinated in order to be on the team. So because my mom is saying all this crap, I want to go ahead and do this. So the kids want to be able to have some control to be able to say, look, if this is what I want to go ahead and make my own choice. So I can see how, these young people want to be able to, like, override a parent who's saying no. Now, of course, there could be downsides to that, but I do see why the governor, what's his name, Newsom in California, why he's trying to push this. Because, like I said, the schools and stuff are saying if you want to be on this team or be involved in this activity, you got to be fully vaccinated. But if you got parents saying, not on my watch, I don't believe in this stuff, this pandemic is not real, and they talking all that stuff, the kids are caught in the middle.
That's true. Because they're going by the parents' beliefs. It might not be the child's beliefs because at a certain age, some children are mature enough to make those decisions for themselves, so to speak. Prime example, look at some of the, it's not the same correlation, but the actors that have kind of pulled away from their parents when they were making decisions for them. They were their managers, and they were like, no, I want to be, what do you call it?
What do they call it? Liberated?
Something like that from their parent, So,
they go through a legal process to be, it's like similar to being divorced.
Yeah.
But you become a liberated young person.
Yeah, there was a lot of child actors that did that.
Yeah, because their parents were
So,
busting their boots, so to speak. Get off of my back.
It could be pushed to the limit to something like that. They want their independence, so to speak. That would be interesting, but
I think the only thing. Excuse me, sorry about that. I think the only thing that would have to come into play with the children is that they would have to get their hands on the kids' medical records, see what they got going on at the time, as far as any kind of what they're allergic to, and what kind of shots they already have, and whether or not they're, their
underlying,
illnesses
or anything,
what they got going on. They really need access to their medical records before they start shooting them in the arm, because that could be real catastrophically bad if they kind of did that and went that route and say, well, my child is, sickle cell or whatever,
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
That makes sense, So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with this. So we're going to keep an eye on it. So,
All right. Yeah, that's a good topic, though. I hope it works out for, what the governor out there in Cali is trying to do.
Right. Yeah, we'll see.
But Poppa DD makes a good point. They better make sure that they get all those kids' medical records before.
Definitely.
You can't just listen to the kids saying, "Yeah, I'm good. Go ahead, do it."
Right.
And then you have a problem.
Right. Don't want that to happen. Yeah. All right. All right. So we'll take a little CC and get to the next segment. What we doing?
Yeah, we'll take a break and come back with the hit it and quit it headlines.
Okay.
But
it's all going down on the Pajama Party show. It's too cold to be anywhere else, so hang out with us. We'll be back on the other side of the break.
You're in the right place at the right time. It's the Pajama Party. www.apajamaparty.com. Produced by DC Homegrown Entertainment. Don't just sit there yelling at the air. You've got an opinion? We want to hear it too. Dial 914-803-4306. That's 914-803-4306. Don't let us have all the fun by ourselves. We've got room for you at the Pajama Party. And remember, it's PJs only, no clothes allowed. Operators are standing by. Well, they're lounging on pillows, but they're waiting for your calls. So call us now, 914-803-4306. Now back to the crew and more of the Pajama Party. Oh, you want to throw pillows?
all right, welcome back to the Pajama Party. I'm one of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling. All right, it's time to hit 'em and quit 'em. We got the headlines for you, and I'm going to go first with Intel. Intel, the world's largest semiconductor manufacturer, has announced plans just today that they're planning to build a new $20 billion factory right outside of Columbus, Ohio, which is a move that President Joe Biden is hailing as a major sign of progress of his administration that's been working to, boost up U.S. production of critical microchips. And if you recall, a lot of cars that people have been buying have been put on hold because they don't have the microchips, because everything is held up on the cargo ships because of all the craziness going on with the whole, COVID situation. So Intel is saying, look, let's just build a plant here in the U.S., and we can start getting these chips created here. We won't have to rely so much on getting everything imported. So Biden I think today he went ahead and had some kind of speech in Albany, talking about that. New Albany, Ohio, was talking about that and dealing with the supply chain bottlenecks. So he did a speech talking about how good this is going to be. And he's also going to be urging Congress to pass the CHIPS for America Act. I don't know if the CHIPS is an acronym, but the CHIPS for America Act, which would provide $52 billion to incentivize future semiconductor investments. Now, the COVID-19 pandemic, as I said, has led to a shortage of these semiconductor microchips, which powers things like cars, cell phones, appliances, gaming consoles, medical devices. The list goes on. And the shortage depleted the vehicle industry, producing a global supply chain issues, and, of course, it made the prices go up on the cars that were available and other products that rely on these semiconductor chips. So, like I said, we, the United States, have been relying on these chips, and currently 12% of the world's chips are made in the U.S., which is down from 37% back in the 1990s, and 80% are made in Asia. So that's where all the money is going in the semiconductor industry. 80% of it goes to Asia. So the U.S. is trying to, Intel rather, is trying to get that back, and the president is going to have some incentives for other companies to step up their game. So we'll see what happens.
Well, on that you know 45's going to try to take the credit on that shit.
Yeah, well, he needs to go sit down somewhere.
Quote unquote, he wants to make America great, and he that's one thing he did talk about. He wanted to try to have some businesses here in the United States, but he's still a jerk.
Okay.
So, anyway.
Whatever.
All right. All right. Hit him and quit him. Check this out. Louisiana Senate candidate Gary Chambers, he lights, smokes a blunt in his new campaign ad. Okay. People don't have anything else to do.
Oh, okay.
He released a campaign ad on Tuesday in which he smokes marijuana in an attempt to spark, quote unquote, a new conversation. In the ad, Chambers Jr., a Democrat and social justice activist looking to unseat Republican Senator John Kennedy, is sitting in a chair smoking a rolled marijuana blunt. While he's smoking, Chambers cities marijuana statistics in a voiceover. So every 37 seconds, someone is arrested for marijuana. Since 2010, state and local police have arrested an estimated 7.3 million Americans for violating marijuana laws, Chambers said. He says, quote unquote, black people are 4 times more likely to be arrested for marijuana laws than white people, and states spend $3.7 billion enforcing marijuana laws each year. That's a lot of dang on money.
Yeah, it is.
He explains that the motivation behind his ad in a tweet saying, I hope this ad works, not only destigmatize the use of marijuana, but also forces a new conversation that creates a pathway to legalize this beneficial drug and forgive those who were arrested due to outdated ideology. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah,
All
right.
right. So he's starting, like you said, starting the conversation. That's interesting.
Yeah. It was a bold move, but I hope it works for him.
Yeah. So I hope they get the message instead of going to continue to ask them, well, do you really smoke marijuana for legal reasons? I mean, for medical reasons or whatever. So I hope people get the message. Yeah. I mean, how you feel about it, Papa? What you think?
Well, it was, it's a big risk,
Yeah.
It's a big risk, I think. He was bold about it, but he's running against John Kennedy, which is a complete jerk off. I mean, that guy is so. John Kennedy is so ignorant. It's not even funny. If you have a computer, pull up. He's a senator too, which is so sad.
Mm-hmm.
Pull up John Kennedy, the senator. He has the same name as President Kennedy. That's what's crazy. This man is so. When I say ignorant, I mean non-educated ignorant. The way he talks, doesn't pronunciate words worth a damn. But like I said earlier, and follow my premise, the only thing it takes to become an official is to be elected. That's it. Nothing fancy. Just be elected with a high school diploma. He ain't got to have a degree to be a congressperson or a senator. So think about it. But good luck to the brother. He was sitting in there. He was sitting bold. I think he was sitting on the railroad tracks too.
I don't know where he was, but he was puffing on that blunt.
He was in a big old lazy boy sitting on the railroad track smoking a blunt.
And that's in Louisiana, right?
Yeah.
All right, brother.
Yeah.
If I could vote for you, I would.
Anyway.
Okay. What you got, Poppa DD?
I got a story of a young lady, God rest her soul. Her name was Lisa Harris, and that probably nobody even knows about. She was a trailblazer, basketball Hall of Famer, and only woman official that was drafted by the NBA back in the day. Never played and all that, but they just did it for the sake of she was that good. She died Tuesday, 66 years old. Her name was Lisa Harris. She won 3 national championships back in the day at Delta State and scored the first points in the Olympics. She was part of the Olympic team, but they only won a gold medal back in 1970. They only won a silver medal back in 1970. Harris was the first black woman inducted into the Naismith, Basketball Hall of Fame in 1992. Her coach at Delta State, Margaret Wade, was inducted in 1985. But Harris also drafted by the NBA New Orleans Jazz.
Wow.
In 1977, making her one of the first women to be officially drafted in the NBA. But now it's the Utah Jazz, and New Orleans has their team now, which is the Pelicans, I believe it is?
I think it is Pelicans,
Anyway, Harris, she was married at the time to her sweetheart while in college, so she didn't try out for the Jazz because she was pregnant at the time. However, she did briefly play in the Women's Professional Basketball League from 1979 and 1980. She was a native of what's called Minor City, Mississippi, so she was down south, kicking all kind of ass. She was put Delta State was located in Cleveland, Mississippi, and she put that little town on the map because they won titles in 75, 76, and 77. Okay, and a girl from Philly, the coach of South Carolina college football team, Stanley. She said that you can compare her to some of the best players that was in the WNBA. But right now, she remains Delta State's career high point holder with 2,891 points and 1,662 rebounds, and she averaged 25.9 points a game, 14 rebounds a game, and she played a total of 115 career games. And she shot about 63%. Basketball measures your shooting by percentages, meaning that you made the basket 63% of the time. So she was a bad mamma jamma. Just remember her name. Her name was Lisa Harris. She was 66 years old, and she died Tuesday. One of the first trailblazers of basketball. One of the first blacks in basketball. One of the first black women in Olympic women's basketball that nobody probably even heard about.
No, I didn't know about her.
Didn't know.
Okay.
Did you also mention that she was drafted San Francisco Warriors? You mentioned that?
No, I didn't actually see that in my report, but I'm sure she was. Yeah, this report says she was drafted by San Francisco Warriors in '69, but the NBA blocked it because she didn't meet the criteria to be drafted, in part because of her gender. Isn't that crazy? But anyway, that was back in that era. And she's also part of a film. She was the subject of a 2021 short film titled The Queen of Basketball that detailed her career. So I think I saw that briefly. That was her nickname.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to look that film up. All right, well, y'all check that out. The Queen of Basketball.
And now the San Francisco Warriors are called the Golden State Warriors. So it's going to show you how
how the times keep changing.
Things change, they stay the same.
Yeah.
So anyway,
for sure.
All right.
Okay.
All right. What else you got, Ketel?
Let's see. Pennsylvania. We're going in. Oh boy, Levittown, PA. Three Pennsylvania police officers were fired on Thursday after being charged this week in the death of an 8-year-old Fanta Belletti. Fanta was killed in August when officers fired dozens of shots at a car moving through a crowd after gunfire broke out near a high school football game. The Sharon Hill Borough Council voted 6-1 on Thursday to fire Brian Devaney, 41, Sean Dolan, 25, and Devin Smith, 33. The vote smart outburst from the crowd at the meeting. The firing comes after District Attorney Jack Stolzheimer announced Tuesday that a Delaware County grand jury had recommended charges of voluntary manslaughter, and reckless endangerment for this August shooting. Bail was set at $500,000 unsecured for each officer, and preliminary hearing was set for within a week, January 27th. So the story is Fanta was killed when police opened fire while responding to a shooting that sent spectators Players and coaches scrambling to cover after a high school football game. Here we go again. The teenagers involved in the initial shooting were charged with murder in connection with Fanta's death, but investigation later revealed that police were responsible for killing Fanta and injuring 3 others. The charges have since been dropped against the other teams, the 2 teams. Wow. Yeah, it's always something. So,
always.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting what's going to happen. And, you know, I don't know. They sound like they're going to they sound like they're going to get a slap on the wrist to me and keep moving. But like I said, it's going to be interesting to follow this case, see what happens. So, yep.
Well, those officers that were fired, I hope they don't just go to another jurisdiction and get another job.
Right. So I guess, like I said, keep abreast of these names, Devaney, Dolan, and Smith. Because the latter ones, they're young. One is 25, one's 33, and the Devaney, he's 41. So, you know, I just think they just, you know, when incidents happen, they just wildly are shooting and not directing at no one. I mean, just that's just too many shots. That's just too much. And it doesn't have to be that way. It's unfortunate, just like the incident that happened in the dressing room of the young child was 14. It was I forgot, it was in a Walmart or something or some store, and they came in. The guy was hitting people with a lock, a bike lock, and they came in, and started shooting. So unfortunate.
Yeah. So. Well, speaking of unfortunate, I got another unfortunate one. This one's out of Kansas. Kansas District Attorney Mark Bennett has announced that he will not be filing charges in the Cedric Lofton case, if you're familiar with that one, citing that the state's stand your ground law is in effect in this instance. This was in a news conference that he stated that the officers who held 17-year-old Cedric Lofton in custody acted in a manner of so-called self-defense because they say Lofton resisted their use of force, pinning him to the ground. Now, when Lofton returned to his foster home the morning of September 24th last year, his father called the police alleging that Lofton was acting paranoid, according to a report from CNN. Wichita officers placed him in shackles which wrapped around his body from the torso down and put him in the back of the patrol car. They took him to Juvenile Intake Assessment Center, JIAC, under accusations of striking and kicking the officers that arrived at his house. So then CNN reported that Lofton was handcuffed and employees figured that he was asleep, but one employee noticed that the boy had stopped breathing. Now, the body camera footage showed a few of the JIAC employees were trying to revive him, and then they sent him to the hospital where the boy was pronounced dead. Now, the autopsy ruled that Lofton's cause of death was complications of cardiopulmonary arrest sustained after physical struggle while restrained in the prone position. So now this young man, 17 years old, was shackled from the torso down. He was laying on the ground, face down, and when they noticed he had stopped moving, these idiots said, oh, he finally just went to sleep. How idiotic is this? The boy had died, and they're like, oh, he went to sleep. Well, no, he wasn't asleep. So in what's his man's name? Bennett, District Attorney Bennett released a report on the incident suggesting that Lofton was to blame for his own death. So I got to make sure I put this district attorney on the kiss it list. He said that because Lofton continued to resist for about 30 minutes meant that the staff could continue to lawfully apply restraints. And additionally, Bennett argued that the employees were justified in their action based on the stand your ground law. Now, this kid is 17. It's more than one of them. They're saying that because they could use stand your ground, which, if my understanding is stand your ground means you felt threatened. But you got this young man shackled from the torso down. How was he a threat to any damn body? I'm just trying to understand.
Because he was black.
You got him shackled.
That's why.
Yes, he was black. You got him shackled, laying on the ground. Yes, he was struggling. His father had reported earlier that he was acting paranoid and once again called for help. And who comes? The freaking police. Y'all just throw shackles on him and put him and take him off, take him away. And then when you get to the juvenile facility, because he was only 17, they end up tackling him down to the ground. He's laying on the ground face down. So when he finally stopped struggling, it was because he was dead. And they said, oh, we thought he was asleep.
Well, it sounds like he had some
hiding,
mental issues.
Yeah. But because they're hiding under that stand your ground bull crap, the district attorney is not charging the office or the people involved at this facility anything. So now this young man has died, and nobody is being held accountable. This stuff has got to stop.
Yeah,
it's got to stop.
But, you know, it's
in, let me go back and see, where is this? Wichita?
Kansas.
It says Wichita. Kansas?
Huh.
Is this Kansas?
I would assume. Yeah, I would assume so. But I can't remember the state, but there is a program that this particular state was enforcing, and it seemed to work, that they had, other than police officers, to come out to deal with people of mental health or whatever what was going on. Other than, quote-unquote, like criminal acts were going on. They had another entity of, they weren't police officers, but they were people of, like I said, that worked in the mental health field that knew how to deal with this types of situation.
Right.
So it's a program that was implemented in this particular state, and I can't remember the name of the program or the state, but it seemed to work, like 60 or 65% of the time. You know, people were living; they weren't dying. So I think there has to be something else than the police officers or police to come out to deal with certain situations. You know, because when you said he sounded like he was acting erratic, maybe he didn't take his medication. He has some mental issues. It just sounded like the whole story was not told. There was something else going on. So
clearly these people at this juvenile detention place were not either trained properly or prepared or whatever to deal with a situation like this.
No. So that's why we need another entity to handle these types of situations. Police officers, they can't do it, you know, because they're trained to do other things, shoot to kill, or you know,
they're trained
handle you a certain way.
Uphold the law. This young man wasn't doing anything to break the law, so they were not the right people. You know what? I tell you what. Right now is the cocktail of the week. I think that's what we need. This Ketel, if you can give us the cocktail of the week, let's do it. This is just too much.
Is this going to calm you down a little bit, Redwine?
I think so. I got my glass right here, so what you got?
Okay. Well, this is something different. Since it's cold outside and it's in the 20s, this is called Moose Milk. And this is going to make a punch bowl of yumminess. So we're going to take one gallon of vanilla ice cream softened, 1 gallon of milk, 4 3/4 cups of dark rum, 4 cups of coffee-flavored liqueur, like Kahlua or something like that, 4 and 3/4 cups of vodka. Hey, sounding pretty good to me. And 1/5 of ground nutmeg. So we're going to whisk the vanilla ice cream, milk, rum, coffee liqueur, and vodka in a large punch bowl until it's, till you get to that frothy and liquid type, substance. And then we're going to garnish it with garnish with the nutmeg and ladle in, punch mugs. So this is going to make a whole punch bowl. So if you got some friends or family over, this will be perfect. So this is called moose milk. So
moose
this
milk.
Is a grown folks milkshake.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
all right.
Enjoy.
Well, shout out for moose milk. That does sound good.
Okay,
well, we'll make sure we get it up on the website. You can check it out on apajamaparty.com over the weekend. Check out Ketel's cocktail of the week called Moose Milk. Moose Milk. Ooh, that thing sounds potent. Oh, my goodness. All right. We're down to, yeah. That thing sounds explosive. But, okay. Let's see. We're down to Poppa DD and what's poppin'. You ready, Poppa DD, or do we need to go take a quick break?
We can take a quick break, and I'll come right back on my goods.
We'll take a quick break while Poppa DD gets revved up to give us what's poppin' tonight. You're listening to the Pajama Party Show. If you want to call in, the number is 914-803-4306. If you want to chat with us, just press 1. And we'll be back on the other side of the break.
It's the Friday night adult talk show, The Pajama Party, on Blog Talk Radio, produced by DC Homegrown Entertainment. Visit us online at www.apajamaparty.com. Click the banner and you can join us online or call us right now at 914-803-4306. The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the Pajama Party crew and you. So pick up the phone and call us now, 914-803-4306, and tell us what's on your mind. There's a big fluffy pillow reserved up front just for you at the Pajama Party. And remember, it's PJs only, no clothes allowed. Pass it on. Now let's get back to the Pajama Party crew and more of the Pajama Party. That better not be my robe.
All right, welcome back to Pajama Party. One host Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling.
All right. What's happening?
It's time for Poppa DD and what's poppin'? What's poppin', Poppa DD?
I tell you, ignorance is all over the place.
Okay.
All over the place, But I just think, like I said, something I would focus on earlier from what we were talking about earlier, just the overall ignorance of the whole election situation, how that's going to come back and smack people in the butt, because, the one thing people got to understand is the world is round, first of all. It's not flat. And there's 6 degrees of separation in the world with people, who's connected to who and how they're connected. And we all intertwine with people in our own ways every day on the job and everything else. And I think the biggest problem with a lot of white people today, and I'll say not all white people, but most white people, is that they have a tendency to want to stay on the right side of white. And sometimes it gets them in trouble, but it always gets them out of trouble because the same privilege that they had going in, they can use going out. So they can just do what they want to do based on the lack of thought process, the ignorance, the belligerence. And like I said earlier, ignorance and belligerence has no intelligence. It's just no awareness at all. Now, what's happened to this whole election thing? This is something that's, first of all, spearheaded by Trump, okay? He's trying to set things up for him going forward in the future. But I tell you what, despite how much I may try to have my life together, I don't know where the hell I'm going to be in 3 years. I don't really think none of us are. I mean, we may know where we're going to live, what we're going to be driving, and things like that, and that our money is still in one of these fine banks around the world, but we don't know where we're going to actually be or where the world is going to be. And, you know, yesterday, January 20th, was Biden's first year in the presidency. He's got 3 years to go. But Trump already has his cronies, and I say his cronies because he's the leader. He's the guru. People are actually scared of him because they know that there's no other white man in the world that is crazy as him. And they know. Let me tell you something. When the white man's scared of a white man, they think he's vicious. Me, myself, I think he's ignorant and he doesn't see the big picture because, see, voting is going to be on a... You can't start changing the rules of the game thinking you're going to do something because you didn't create the game. The game has been in place long before you messed with it. And he just knew he was going to win back in, in January of last year. And when he lost, he lost his mind because he was already in the White House, all kind of stuff going on, flying on Air Force One, just cars, like they say, checkbooks, credit cards, more money than a sucker could ever spend. He had it all. Already thought he had it all, with The Apprentice and all that. But when he became president, all that was child's play. He saw the power that job came with. He said, damn, I can get used to this. Ignorant-ass person like that? My goodness. But what's going to happen now, they're trying to set stuff up here now for the midterm election just to see how it's going to work. They're sprinkling stardust on the election to see whether or not what their big plan is in 2024 is going to do when that goes into play. So right now, 2022 is just a road test, more or less, to see how much they can mess up the vote. That's why they're not passing any kind of voting laws. You can't give blacks no water in line. You can't stand in line. There's only one drop box for the mail. Everything they look and see blacks do when they vote, they put laws in place to stop it. No, you can't do that. Need proper ID. Because they just think we're ignorant and ain't got our shit together no way. So anything they think they would throw at us on another level that we just not going to buy it at all. But what's going to happen, not in 2022, because that's just a midterm election. What's going to happen in 2024, and mark my word. Now, if you don't get it started, you can't finish it. So if the voting is all messed up by noon on election day, and they got fighting in the neighborhoods, and people fighting, and everybody's carrying on, and the cops are coming here, and the cops are coming there, and they had to shut down this place and shut down that place. Now, what happens? Well, the clock's going to keep on going. It's going to turn to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. And stuff is going to be undone, uncounted, everything. And what's going to happen? Well, Biden's going to still be president because we can't get a proper count. Because we had 18 killings, we had 9,000 standoffs, 15 riots, and everything else, and that day was a mess. So if that day was a mess because of all the crap you did since 2021 when you lost, and in 2024 it's a complete mess, you can't determine a winner. So if you can't determine a winner, who's going to stay in place? The person sitting in the chair. Mm-hmm. So I'm telling you right now, mark my word. It's going to be, think about the movie, I don't know if you ever seen it, called Dead Presidents. With the young brother, what's his name, Lawrence Tate. Dead Presidents. They're planning to rob these armored trucks. And right before they went to arm these armored trucks, everything went wrong. And it just was a mess. People got killed. He ended up going to jail. It's a mess. Dead presidents. But in a long shell, just to wrap everything up, All this they're doing is not going to work because they don't have enough intelligence to do it. And if you're going to be vicious, you got to be cool. And they're everything but cool. They're arrogant. They're belligerent. They're rednecks. They're assholes. They're not intelligent. How you going to pull off some shit when you ain't got the brains to do it?
Hello.
I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay.
All righty.
Love it. They better leave that stuff alone.
Mm-hmm. That voting stuff is bigger than they think.
Yeah.
It's bigger than they think, and it's been around forever.
Uh-huh. Giuliani is in trouble now.
Oh, please.
Because he was involved in trying to get some people to sign some fake electors documents or something crazy he was involved in.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're trying to get him. I'm like, this stuff just keeps on going.
But you know the sad part about it, in the eyes of God, how long are they going to live? And how long are you going to keep your proper mindset and your health?
Man, they don't care. They live for today.
No. I'm not talking about answering that so fast. These are things we need to be concerned with. Our health, our mental state, and things of this nature. We can't be evil all the time because... But
you're speaking from a sane perspective.
Well, no, I'm speaking because God don't like ugly.
But I'm saying, but you're saying from a sane perspective.
Well, everybody gets...
People act insane.
Let me tell you something.
They are insane.
When that doctor tell you got some kind of terminal illness, you become sane. Anyway, I'm going to leave that alone.
If you got any kind of sense, you do.
All right, let's move on. I ain't going to beat that up. Redwine's rebutting me.
I'm just saying.
I'm on the fence. I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to lighten it up. We're going to go to the weird news.
Okay.
Lighten it up.
All right, what's happening in the weird news?
In Jefferson City. I'm familiar with Jefferson City, Missouri. I used to party out there, but anyway, that's a whole nother show. Missouri Highway Patrol mistakenly sends Batman-themed alert. The patrol sent out a test message claiming authorities in Gotham City were searching for a purple and green 1978 Dodge, the car used by the Joker in the 1989 Batman film. So in Jefferson City, Missouri, the Missouri State Highway Patrol alert sent cell phones blaring statewide. Authorities in Gotham City, Missouri were searching for a purple and green 78 Dodge. It's a 3700 GT. But there is no Gotham City, Missouri. The car reference was the one used by the Joker. Okay, soon after the Tuesday evening alert, the patrol sent another saying to disregard it. In a brief news release, the patrol said a routine test of Missouri's Blue Alert system was inadvertently transmitted statewide. The system is meant to let the public know when a police officer is killed or seriously injured in the line of duty. During the test, an option was incorrectly selected, allowing the message to be disseminated to the public. The news release stated a message left with patrol on Wednesday seeking additional information wasn't immediately returned. So, okay, they sent the Batman signal up, but it was a test. So. Disregard.
They out there looking for Joker's car. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Do, I guess. Mm-hmm.
Well, I got one for you. Scientists have trained goldfish so they can drive on land.
Huh?
This is crazy. Yeah, exactly. The only time most people see fish driving automobiles is when they're watching an episode of SpongeBob SquarePants. But if you thought cars were something reserved solely for your favorite cartoon characters from Bikini Bottom, think again. Researchers at the Ben Gurion University in Israel have designed an inverted submarine that functions as a fish-operated vehicle that they call an FOV, and you've got to see it to believe it. Although the fish required some training to operate the vehicle, the results have proven to be a smashing, or rather a sloshing, success. Here's what you need to know about this bizarre invention. The video became an instant internet sensation. It shows a motorized, water-filled moving vehicle from one end of a room to another. And along the way, they call it a LIDAR wielding computerized mechanism weaves and turns, avoiding obstacles and impediments. But we're not talking about a self-driving car. Instead, it's powered and navigated by goldfish swimming in the water-filled part of the gadget. So what they did is they have trained these fish to basically to understand that if they swim in a certain way, it makes the vehicle move. And once they got the fish to, comprehend that, the fish were able to actually move this vehicle across the floor. So that's what they did. They enrolled 6 fish in the training program. The fish at first, they said, were moving in erratic ways, swimming from one side of the aquarium, to the other without any kind of rhyme or reason. But then the fish started adapting. And as the fish got accustomed to their new home and the different vantage points, their movements started to become calm and deliberate. So in a nutshell, the fish learned how to drive. So by them swimming together, it's basically like synchronized swimming. You got to look this video up and see it. The fish actually moved this thing across the floor. It's one of the craziest things I've seen in a while. But
interesting.
These are the kind of things that just you look at it sometimes and think, is this real? Or is this some kind of crazy staged kind of situation? But this was really done.
Mm-hmm.
These scientists in Israel figured out how to get it done, and they trained these goldfish how to move this vehicle across the floor. So there you go.
Interesting. There you go. That's what's up.
Goldfish that can drive.
All right.
They probably drive better than some folks on the road, but that's a different story.
Wow.
What you got, Poppa D?
Living for the city tonight. I just want to.
What's your weird news?
Okay. I'm jumping.
He's ready to jump to living.
Yeah, I'm ready to jump to living for the city.
Oh, see. Okay.
Anyway, my weird news is this is in Newberrytown, Pennsylvania. Police pulled over a guy that was in the car. They said he pulled him over for suspecting him being drunk or drugged while driving on a Pennsylvania highway, and he discovered a live deer back in the hatchback of the car.
What?
They apparently hit the deer, and the deer was still living, so they picked the deer up off the street and put it in the back of the car. I guess it's something you do when you're drunk, or in their hillbilly cases, them hillbillies probably did it when they were sober. Anyway, the animal fled after the stop, Thursday by police in Newberry Township. Documents told police that they realized that the deer was still alive after they hit him, so they put him in there and they was going to try to drive him to safety somehow or what have you, but the police wasn't buying it and said that, look, they just take the dog. So they took the deer out and carried it across the street, and they were struggling because the 2 guys were drunk trying to carry the deer across the street and to set them free. And one was 19 and one was 18 years old.
Oh, yeah, and they were clueless.
So they were being charged for drunken driving and under influence of drugs.
That's crazy. Man, people do some wild stuff.
Yeah.
They're going to hit a deer and say, he looks like he's still alive. Let's put him in the back of the car. Really? Oh, my gosh. Okay. Well, Poppa DD was raring to go for living for the city. So
yeah, I just kind of jumped over that whole paragraph.
I know you did. So what's happening in the city? Since you want to jump into it, so go for it.
Well, I don't want to jump over your story, but you want me to...
Oh, I'm sorry. See, now you got me jumping over everything.
You jumping. Are you ready for your segment? Or?
Oh, okay. I can do that, too.
Yeah.
See? Messing with you got me all
messing with me. See that? Can somebody admit that they just made a mistake messing with me?
No, I'm not admitting anything. That was on you.
Yeah, sure it was.
Okay, can I get my introduction, please?
All right, we got Redwine. She's going to do her segment, which is called I'm Just Saying.
Okay, thank you, Poppa DD.
What you saying tonight?
Okay. tonight I want to talk about women on the money. Now, although women have regularly appeared on money all over the world, historically, women have rarely been included on money issued by the United States government. What's that about? I'm just trying to understand.
Because I have seen women on a lot of money overseas.
Yeah, all over the world. But since the federal government began issuing paper money back in 1861, male figures have almost exclusively enjoyed this honor. Now, there was Pocahontas, which was in a group photo, not by herself, and then there was Martha Washington. Those are the only exceptions that appeared on U.S. paper money only for a short period in earlier part in the 19th century. And, of course, there was the Susan B. Anthony and Sacagawea $1 coin that made an appearance like late 20th century. But those coins were not widely used. I mean, how often did people even see those? You know, it's like when you finally got a hold of one, it was like, oh, let me throw this in a jar somewhere, because those things were not circulated a lot. But the Treasury Department says that they're studying ways to speed up the process of, I wanted to talk about George Washington. But those coins, the Susan B. Anthony and Sacagawea, were not as widely distributed or used as the $1 bill featuring President George Washington. So the Treasury Department says they're studying ways to speed up the process of adding, remember when they were talking about Harriet Tubman, trying to get Harriet Tubman's portrait on the front of the $20 bill. But if you recall, under the Trump administration, your boy, Trump administration put the brakes on that, the whole idea, and then the Treasury Department backed up what Trump wanted, saying, well, we really don't have time to go into doing that because right now the priority is to add new security features to the money to try to keep people from being able to counterfeit, U.S. currency. So I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. That's what they said. But my question is, can we just get more women represented on the money? And when Harriet Tubman finally gets on that $20 bill, she'll be the second woman since Martha Washington back in 1886 and the first black woman ever to be on paper currency. Now, let's talk about Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou is the first black woman to be minted on a U.S. coin, finally. But have you seen the coin? I haven't actually seen the coin, but I've seen pictures of the coin. And I got to be honest with you. If that coin did not have Maya Angelou's name on it, I wouldn't have known that that's who it was.
Yeah, me either.
That image does not even look like her. They have an image of a woman with her arms spread out. Her face is turned sideways in her profile. There's a big bird with wings behind her. And they're saying, oh, this represents one of her most famous poems. I'm assuming the one about I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. But it doesn't even look like her. And you got to look it up. That image does not look like Maya Angelou. But fortunately, they put her name actually on the coin. So at least if you ever get a hold of one, you'll know that's who it's supposed to be. Now, this is all part of a series of women being featured on these coins that includes Sally Ride, first woman, American woman in space, Wilma Mankiller, who's the first female principal chief of the Cherokee Nation, Nina Otero Warren, who was a suffrage leader, and Anna May Wong, who was a Chinese-American film star. I don't know how these folks were selected, but there's others. There were supposed to be about 20 women that were selected. But what I want to know is why the quarter and why on the back?
And
why
so
they got to put them on the back of the quarter?
Sally Ride's picture is big as hell on here.
Yeah, they put her whole face,
I can see
but they put Maya Angelou like it's a body shot, so it's a little further back, silhouette, profile. Anyway, I'm trying to understand why they got to be on the back. George Washington is still on the front of the quarter. why does he get the quarter and the $1 bill? George has been on the money since 1869. Don't you think he's been riding on the money long enough? How much more time does George Washington need to get? I mean, what does he have? A deal that says I'm on the money for an eternity?
No trade.
Does he have a PR firm working for him that says I'm going to be in this thing forever? So he's on the $1 bill. He's on the quarter. Now you're going to put some women in the mix, and they get to go on the back. Is that like when black folks had to sit in the back of the bus? What is up with this? I mean, it's like on the one hand, okay, cool, you're going to add some women on the money. Yay. But they're on the back. And George gets to still be on two things. You got the bill. You got the quarter. I mean, come on, George. Can you give up some of the real estate? Damn, George. I'm just saying. This is Redwine. I'm just saying. It still doesn't seem right to me that the women have to be on the back of the coin, but I'm rooting for Harriet Tubman to finally get on that $20 bill. It may take another 10, 15 years or so, I don't know, before it ever happens, but I'm rooting for Harriet. Come on, Harriet. Let's make it happen. Whew. Too much for me. All right. I'm going to go to the phone lines.
That was a good one, Redwine. I just want to comment that Maya Angelou, she was a dancer. So maybe that's why they decided to do it. But I do see another coin. Maybe somebody put her face on it, but her whole face, and it does look like Maya Angelou. This particular coin, maybe somebody probably put her face on the quarter, but this represents her much better. I think they should have took an older picture of her, not a younger picture. And I think somebody was a model for this particular coin. It wasn't her. Yeah. It doesn't seem like it was her. So
it doesn't seem like
comment.
Her. It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, let's go to the phone line, see what the callers think about it. Hello, caller. Welcome to the Pajama Party Show. Go right ahead with your comment.
Hello, good evening, everyone. This is Poppa DD Jr.
Hey.
What's going on?
Hey
How's everybody doing? How are you? Good. First, Redwine. I totally agree with you. Jokingly, please take a volume, because, baby, I think you was about to lose your voice.
This stuff pisses me off.
Yeah.
But anyway, I want to add to that topic and conversation. Let's put Martin on the bill.
Yes.
Okay, that's what's up.
Let's talk about that.
That's it. Drop the mic. Yeah, we need to. You're right. Yeah.
And I ain't talking about no quarter.
Okay.
Exactly.
Should be $100 bill or something. Hey, why not?
There you go.
So, no questions asked. Just do the damn thing, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But I just
put them on a tin, something that everybody has. Put them on a bill that it'll be so widely circulated, everybody got it.
Well, I just wanted to add that to kind of soften Redwine's cheerleader tone.
Man, I'm taking names and kicking butt. I'm tired of the bull. I'm tired.
I heard that. Right.
Well, anyway, I appreciate the topic and good talking tonight. I just been chilling, listening. So.
All right. Well, thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, as always. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right. So, Poppa DD, you can do your thing and say muted.
All right. We got you. Thank you so much.
All right.
All right. We're going to kick it back to you, Poppa DD. Living for the city.
Yeah, I just wanted to...
what's happening in the city?
Just get that whole voting thing out. I mean, man, I tell you, just stay aware. at what's happening. You know, you got a couple more years. You know, this what they call the midterm elections. This is going to sort itself out. You know, it ain't really happening right now, but by August, September, you're going to start seeing the campaigns hit off and see who's up for their job and everything. And they're all trying to keep their constituents. You know, they want to keep their base. And Trump got a stronghold on the base, so they got a stronghold on Trump. I don't think that a lot of these politicians ain't really into Trump like you think they are, but they think that Trump got the stronghold on everything. But I think ain't nobody got the stronghold on nothing.
Mm-hmm.
An election is what it is, and it's who you vote for. And as people come in every day, young people turn 18 years old, 20 years old, 22 years old. They're all making decisions, and older people are retiring and passing away and things like that. So the one thing the Republicans don't realize is that the world is revolving. Let me repeat that again. The world is revolving. If you think that you're going to come out every day and the world's going to be the way you left it, no, it's not. Mm-mm. Your damn car ain't even the way you left it. You're lucky it starts up in this cold-ass weather. I guarantee you, everybody in the sound of my voice, two things could happen when you go out to your car tomorrow morning if it's 15 degrees at night. Either the air pressure will drop in your tire or your battery will die. That's what cold weather does to cars. Not to mention anything else if you're stupid enough to put water in your radiator instead of antifreeze. You know, so. But anyway, let me focus on one more thing while I got you. Now, they have 7 jobs available in the NFL. Okay? Right now, currently only one black coach who coaches the Pittsburgh Steelers. They fired 7 people already. Okay? So they got 7 jobs available out of the 32 teams that's in the game. And they always talking about hiring black people, but ain't nobody talking about black people. And what gets me is black anchors on sports channels aren't even talking about black people. They're talking about white guys. Well, we should get such and such. He's the defensive coordinator from Dallas. He should be the new coach of the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, what the hell? How is it that black folks are always patronizing white people? I just don't get it. I don't get it. You got black assistant offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators that eligible to be coaches, and ain't nobody supporting them. Ain't nobody putting them out there. They just putting one coach one place and putting them in another, back and forth, back and forth. So that's a worthless cause. But in any event, though, let me say that these next couple of days, it's going to be some real good football on TV. So I don't know what you're doing over these next couple of days. We got 2 games tomorrow. 2 games tomorrow and 2 games Sunday. Tomorrow you have the Cincinnati Bengals are playing the Tennessee Titans. And at night the Green Bay Packers are playing the San Francisco 49ers. All right? Now that's that's going to
be a good one.
That's the 4 over here. There's only 8 teams left before the Super Bowl. So this is set you up for the Super Bowl. Like I said again, you got the Cincinnati Bengals playing the Tennessee Titans in Tennessee. They had the best record. And tomorrow night, you got the Green Bay Packers are playing the San Francisco 49ers. Now, Sunday, you have the...
Which one?
You got the Buffalo Bills playing the Kansas City Chiefs. And in the evening, you have the L.A. Rams playing Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh.
Okay? So you got 2 AFC games, 2 NFC games. So at the end of the night on Sunday night, we'll be down to 4 teams who will play next weekend. And out of the 4 teams next weekend, they'll make it 2 teams, and those teams will go to the Super Bowl. So we got 8 teams playing this weekend, which is going to knock it down to 4. Next weekend will be 4 teams playing, which will knock it down to 2, and 2 weeks later will be the Super Bowl. So, good-ass football this weekend. Good-ass football. I'm personally pulling for the Kansas City Chiefs on the AFC for the Super Bowl, and on the other side, on the NFC, I don't like them too much, but I think the Green Bay Packers are going to take it all because that damn Aaron Rodgers is just that good. You can't count him out. He's unvaccinated and talk a lot of shit, but he's a hell of a player. Anyway, that's it for me.
Okay. I can't root for Kansas City because they beat my Steelers.
Oh,
I'm done
poor
with Mahomes.
baby. That's my team.
I'm done with Mahomes.
After the Bama Redskins and my KC, hey, they had some bad boys.
Yeah.
You got the Cincinnati Bengals, man. That little team, that team is new, but they Cinderellas in there. And then you got,
I want to see the 49ers do something.
Up against Green Bay?
Yeah.
But they playing up in Lambeau Field. It's supposed to be like 5 degrees.
No, it's going to be colder than cold.
Oh, damn.
But their quarterback is fine. That Garoppolo, man. Woo. Anyway, I digress. Woo. Okay.
Garoppolo.
Yeah, that daggone Garoppolo.
Yeah, he does have a Hollywood square chin, that's for sure.
That's a fine. Anyway, it's time for Ketel in the Hollywood wrap-up. Ooh.
That was a good segue.
Yeah, speaking of fine, Poppa DD.
Are you ready, Ketel?
Yes, sir.
Here we go.
Go for it, Poppa DD. Oh, my.
Okay.
Right. The voice something
different.
Yeah, something different. That was the scene from the Tonight Show.
Okay.
With Johnny Carson, by the way.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right. I'll take that.
All right. This is Ketel with the Hollywood wrap-up.
All right. Our interesting actor and well, Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's in the news. And he's not talking about he'll be back. He was involved in a bad car accident. SUV rolls over into a Prius. He is driving this big SUV, and it rolls over a Prius. Do you believe that? This happened at almost 7 o'clock. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ they believe the accident was Arnold's fault. They say he was turning left, but there was a left turn arrow that was still red. Arnold was not ticketed. I wonder why. Because you're Arnold Schwarzenegger and you're the Terminator. They scared he's going to come back for sure. He was driving a Yukon SUV when it collided with a red Prius at around 5. His SUV started to roll and ended up on top of the Prius, then continued rolling to the left into a Porsche. Wow. So this is like, if you see the pictures, his SUV is over top of the Prius and the Porsche is behind him. So that's going to be an interesting development.
And he didn't get a ticket at all.
So we'll see what's going to happen with that.
Okay.
My boy Tom Cruise, he is going to space. This company, SEE Productions, funding Tom Cruise's next to build film studio in space by 2024.
Oh, boy.
Plans to build a space station module that contains a sports and entertainment arena as well as a content studio. So besides Tom Cruise, he's probably going to use it for his Mission Impossible movies. Other people can rent the space out as well. Interesting.
Okay.
It's named the SEE-1. The module is intended to host film, television, music, and sports events, as well as artists, producers, and creatives who want to make content in the low-orbit microgravity environment. Whatever the hell that means. Okay.
In
the
space.
Facilities. Yep, the facilities will enable the development, production, recording, broadcasting, and live streaming of content. So I guess nowadays space is not really all the way up there where the moon and things are. So
they said low gravity.
Yeah. So
they ain't got no bazooka hat on.
Yeah. So
when
you got one of them on, your ass is in space.
Look, I feel like we're in the Jetsons for real, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Adele cries as she postpones her concert. She's supposed to have a residency in Las Vegas starting this weekend. And she says because of COVID situations, half of her staff is out, musicians, so on and so on, that they can't go on with the show. And my gripe is with this is, why do you wait till the ninth hour? I blame her management because they should have postponed this probably at least 2 weeks ago. Now, she apologized for people who have come out there. I mean, some people have gone out there to Vegas just to see the show. Now, initially the tickets were $80, but they were selling, Scouters and everything was selling tickets from $300 to $1,000 per ticket. So suppose you got one of those tickets, your ass is stuck out there in Vegas, and there's no show. So, it is what it is. So we'll see what's going to happen with that. So,
and I'd be like, somebody going to sing to me tonight.
Right on. That's what I say. So, also, your folks, the Soul Sonic, they have a residency as well in Vegas. Their tickets are $125, but of course the Scouters are probably going to, jack it up. The song "Leave the Door Open." Hey, that's got to be the number one song that's out here now. So kudos to them.
My jam is "Smoking Out the Window."
I know that's right. So they're going to be at the Park MGM, and they're going to have a residency there. So let's just see what's going to happen. It's going to start February the 25th through May the 29th. So, guys got time to get tickets. So tickets are probably on sale now. So, hey, want to go get them. Hopefully they will not postpone like Mr. Dale. So I guess we have to wait and see. Of course, I have to talk about my girl, Mary J. Blige. Her birthday was this weekend. 51 years young and looking like 21. You ain't never lied. You looking good. Way back in 1991 was the 411 debut album. Man, she's been making music for over 30 years. Go ahead, girl.
Wow.
Doing your thing. Yep. She partied like it was 1999. And, of course, guys, we're just talking about the Super Bowl. 2020 is going to be happening February the 13th. We're going to have my girl, Mary J. Blige, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, and Kendrick Lamar. If you guys haven't seen the trailer, which, of course, Pepsi is sponsoring, you guys have to see the trailer. It's off the chain. So check it out on YouTube or whatever, but it's like an intro to this halftime thing. Giving it, everybody a teaser for it. And last but not least, we lost Louis Anderson today, the award-winner comedian. He had unfortunately he passed away of he was battling cancer, and he did this particular. He was 68. He did a particular. It was a continuing series, I believe, called Baskets. And he kind of portrayed his mom. So it was Louis, and then he dressed up as his mom. So it was a personality character that he was portraying. But, throwing homage to his mom. Check this out. His mom's name was Aura Zella Anderson. And I say, all right, the Zellas are in the house.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah. So
I remember him from Coming to America. He was the guy that worked behind the counter that was saying, you know, he's working on fries and hopefully he'll be able to move up to whatever it was he was saying.
Yeah.
And I like how he was working in the kitchen.
Yeah, I like how part 2 they brought him back as well. You know, a lot of the characters they brought back. And he started on the Tonight Show. So thanks, Poppa DD, for that intro. So I guess that meant something. So all right, that's my Hollywood wrap-up.
Okay. Good stuff. Thank you, Ketel.
You're welcome. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
get to that Kiss It list real quick.
Let's do it. What is the Kiss It list,
Poppa
DD?
People that showed they butt hiney, and we're going to put them on blast big time. And
we got a list tonight.
Well, the first one I don't see him on the list, but the first I want to go on is that John Kennedy, senator from Louisiana. I don't care if his opponent is smoking weed or doing coke. He got to be better.
Still a jerk off.
He got to be better than John Kennedy. Anyway, your boy Mitch McConnell, Senate Majority Leader, Minority Leader, for saying that African American voters are voting in just as high a percentages as Americans.
Yeah. Like Ketel said, like African Americans or black folks are not American.
And he said it's so natural that it just came out ignorant. And because they just think that we're dragging behind their ass. Anyway, we got also Governor Youngkin of Virginia removing the mask mandate, causing confusion in Virginia. And the lady tonight, like I said, who said that she's coming in Monday when the mandate's will be dropped, and if they tell her child to wear a mask, she's gonna bring her gun and ammunition and everything else. Them white men in Virginia have lost. Them white women in Virginia have lost their mind.
Yeah, they're tripping.
They really have. They're a mess.
Also, I want to add the M&Ms, the candy M&Ms. They just went through this whole campaign about rebranding their candy mascots to be more inclusive, and all they really did was change the shoes on 2 of the M&Ms, the female ones. They used to wear the high heels.
There's female M&Ms?
Yes. I think it's the yellow one, and I don't know what color. I'd have to look at the picture again. But there's 2 of them in that group that were female, but they used to wear high heels. But now they claim they're trying to be inclusive, so now the high heels have dropped down to a lower, more, sensible heel, and the other female is wearing sneakers. Because they're trying to say, well, all women don't have to be in high heels.
So they bushed them out.
Yeah, I'm like, give me a break with that bull crap.
Oh, boy.
All right. So we got 2 boys and 2 butch. Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, here we go. Okay.
Also, we got Don Huffines, who's a Republican running for governor of Texas, for refusing to fire one of his staffers who has a known history of being publicly racist and anti-Semitic, because he says that would be cancel culture, and I refuse to be a part of cancel culture.
That's his damn friend.
So I'm like, so you gonna have this dude part of your team?
That's his friend.
Exactly.
His damn
to
friend.
me, you co-signing that bull crap. Also, we got racist haters of Asian American Olympic gymnast Suni Lee, who've been posting. These people have been posting hateful comments regarding her dating a black man. She's going on about her life. And now these folks are pissed off because instead of her dating an Asian man, she's dating a black man.
We're not beyond it, Papa. Nope, we're not.
And these are Asian people that's hating?
It's just a variety of people. I don't know if they're all Asian, but...
Yeah, and they want Asian peace in the world. They want Asian racists to stop.
We got Senators Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema for being blockers to the Democratic.
And they're Democrats, and they're blocking all the bills because they don't want to lose their constituents.
Yeah,
they don't want to lose their in West Virginia. They want to keep their white people.
This one is, if anybody hasn't seen this video, you can find it anywhere online. Pastor Michael Todd from the Tulsa Transformation Church in Oklahoma for spitting not just spitting, he hawked
a lunger
and spat into his hand. I mean, he was like, spat into his hand and rubbed it in the face of the dude that was on stage next to him, trying to make an example in part of his message, where he was talking about, trying to make a point about when you receive a vision from God, it might get nasty.
Get out of here.
Yes, he
He's
is.
a black man. He's a black man. Oh, my God.
At a mega church. One of these brothers at a mega church, he hawked and spat in his hand. The dude was on stage beside him. He rubbed that spit in this man's face, and when the people in the congregation were like, oh, he was like, see, that's how people sometimes act. When God's trying to bless you and give you a vision, because sometimes a vision might be nasty.
But that's a vision, not a damn mucinex.
Exactly.
Not.
A lot of mucus.
You know what? In some states, that's an assault.
He's fucking, this world is going to hell.
He came back and apologized. But I'm like, dude, I'm still putting you on the kiss it list, because that was just ill-conceived and nasty.
Man, I tell you, when God come and take this world, just fuck on my ass.
We got
and we got coronavirus going around.
Yes.
Oh Lord.
And we got Missouri Senator Josh Hawley. He's another nutcase. He was one of the main Republicans who denounced Biden's win back in January.
Yeah, I remember him.
He came out and made a statement and said, Democrats don't accept elections when they don't win. I'm like, dude, y'all were the ones that were acting a fool when you lost.
But you know what? The next two elections, 22, 24, that's up to them to prove now.
Exactly.
Democrats are we're in. So you got to prove yourself these next couple of years. Donald Trump for lying about his apartment being larger and drawing more money on the equity of it. They trying to take him down, and
lying Bama.
And people that lie about having hair extensions when they knew they do, especially white women, they blend. They try to blend it so tight that
if you do, you do. Don't nobody care.
Kansas District Attorney Mark Bennett on that Cedric Lawson case.
Yes.
And well, that's about everybody. I guess we better.
Is that everybody?
Send it off. Yeah.
All right. Well, we got something for, and here it is.
Kiss my entire ass. Kiss my Irish ass. You better kiss my Irish ass. This world can kiss my ass. Kiss my ass. You can just kiss my ass. Baby, you can just kiss my ass. Oh, you can kiss my country ass. I said if you got a problem with any of that, you can kiss my natural born redneck to the bone, ever-loving country ass. That's right.
All right, welcome back to Pajama Party. One of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling. It's time for the last word. What's the last word, Papa?
Last word. I want to wish my man a happy birthday up in Philadelphia. My man David, whatever you are, wherever you are, what are you doing? God bless you, my brother.
Happy birthday
to you.
Have a safe night. Also, it's cold out there. Layer up. Got some good football tomorrow, so nestle in and, check it out.
Stay warm.
Got some damn good football tomorrow, I'm telling you.
And Sunday.
That's all I got to say.
Okay. Well, my last word is I want to see these women get on the dollars, paper currency, not just on the coins, and definitely not on the back of the daggone coins.
Who's using coins today anyway?
Yeah, how many times you go to a store and they say, oh, we're only taking cards because there's a coin shortage. So why are you trying to put women now on coins if there's such a shortage? It just sounds like some bull crap. But anyway, my last word is if you're going to recognize the accomplishments of women, do it in a respectful way. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
What's your last word, Ketel?
My last word is just gotta stop taking a lot of BS and make some changes in the world. This pastor, Michael Todd, I mean, you're gonna be on the kissing list for about a good week because I saw the video and that was some daggone shiggity. If we're gonna continue to let people of power or whatever take control or take over us or do whatever they want to do to us, it's something wrong with us. Because I wouldn't want nobody cock sticking in their hand and then put on my eyes. Hell to the no. I'm sorry. So let's not let people in these positions of power or whatever, who they think they are, do what they want to do to us. So let's make some changes, y'all. This is a new year. It's the 2022. Let's get it right. And that's my last word.
Amen to that.
Yeah, that's a good point because Trump has a lot of people under a huge spell. I'm telling you, they are just crazy, literally crazy, and I don't understand. They lost their damn mind.
You're right, Trump whip.
They lost their mind. And what's going to happen when Trump goes away? Because this ass ain't going to be around that much longer.
I guess they're going to lose their mind again.
Shit, you in your late 70s, you better worry about your golden years. He ain't running
somebody
shit.
Else, I guess.
No, I don't think they'll follow nobody else like him. You know, he got that Martin Luther King power over them. Anyway.
Let's say it.
All right. Yep. Well, we're going to say goodnight and get on out of here.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
I got to go find me a fireplace to cuddle up in front of because it's a little chilly.
Oh, wow. Get some of that moose milk.
Oh, that's right. That moose milk was kicking.
Yeah.
Got to try that one. All right. Say goodnight, Poppa DD.
Good night, everybody. Look, even if you don't go nowhere, at least go outside and start your car, during the day. Crank it up.
All right. Say goodnight, Ketel.
Good night. And let's take our power back. This is 2022, baby.
All right. And this is Redwine saying good night. Bonsoir. Arrivederci. Adios. Peace. Later.
Ciao, Bella.
Initiating shutdown sequence.
Is it all over, Rock?
I guess so.
I bid you farewell, arrivederci, sayonara, and all that sort of cheers.
Well, I say when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Well, good night.
Yabiko. Sana.
I regret to announce this is the end. I'm going now.
Good night, and good luck.
Was it as good for you as it was for me?
Now give me a kiss and say good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you for attending our show, and good night.
Party crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed. It's summer party. Grown and sexy. Join the party. Put summer party. Party crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed. It's summer party. Grown and sexy. Join the party. Put summer party. Party crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed. It's summer party. Grown and sexy.